This episode of Raw Perspective is recorded at Podster, the leading podcast studio in Dubai. If you want to start a podcast but feel overwhelmed by all the work that goes into creating one, Podster is the place to go. They make it so much easier to record and edit your episodes. Podster has 5 cozy and versatile podcast sets to choose from. I'm currently at the Onyx set, and honestly, it's my absolute favorite. The moment I saw it on their website, I knew I had to record my episode here. Regardless of which recording package I choose, all of Podster's sets come with the support of a studio operator. They handle all the technical aspects of my recording for me, so I can just focus on having an amazing conversation with my guests. Podster has also made the post-production process so much simpler for me. I'm working with Podster's team of producers who handle all of the editing of my podcast. If I want to publish engaging clips from my show on social media, they can extract scroll-stopping segments from the episodes for me. If Podster sounds like a good fit for you on your podcasting journey, you should definitely give them a try. Book your recording slot or learn more about their services at dubai.podster.com. That's dubai.podster.com. Hi there, welcome to Raw Perspective podcast series. This is my guest Ryan. My name is Ahmad, and today we're just going to be having a free-flowing conversation about living in Dubai and how school is around over here, and just some of the activities like dirt biking and just other things generally to do to give you some true insight as to what it is to live, what it's like to live here in Dubai, and not what you hear about or what you see on TV. So my guest Ryan. Ryan, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, my name's Ryan. I was born and raised in California. I was born in San Francisco, and then I was raised in Orange County, which is a bit more south. It's in between, further south. It's in between Los Angeles and San Diego.
Gotcha.
So I was born there, raised there for 13 years. Then I moved to Dubai in 2013. My dad's Egyptian, fully Egyptian, and my mom is half American, half German.
So you're like a hybrid, like...
Yeah.
What was your experience like in high school? Like, let's clear away the rumors about like what they think about what students in Dubai are like and what's like school life is actually like. So kindly elaborate on that. Like,
I always say misunderstood. That's the label that Dubai gets, from anybody living outside of this country. They've only seen it from social media.
Absolutely.
Lamborghinis, Ferraris, and camels, that's basically it.
That's all, and they think like it's a city of gold, you know what I mean? Like only the rich live here.
Exactly.
And majority of the population, in Dubai, like they're middle class. And I'm sure you learned that in school. The name of your school you went to, what was it?
It was UAS, Universal American School of Dubai, yeah.
And like over there, it was like what, an IB system or a GCSE system? What was the system?
It was
like?
IB, American system, yeah.
Got you. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, the what people see on screens generally, like what they hear about, like on like on like hearsay, like, oh, it's like a rumor, this person said this person said that, so we just assume all of them are like that. They hear the story of a few, but not like all, they just assume just because they heard about a few, they think that's the case for most. Mm-hmm. So what was your schooling experience like? Like, tell me about like for example, like friendships, relationships, sports, like just so like the audience and all the people watching, whoever's watching, they can get to know who Ryan is and where he comes from, you know what I mean?
Yeah, when I moved over, like I felt really out of place.
Yeah.
Even though I was in an American school, in my entire year, I would say I was the most American kid there.
Yeah.
And I'm not even pure, I'm only quarter American.
True.
But the fact that I grew up there and then I moved to Dubai, I was in an American system, but every kid was from somewhere else,
Yeah.
Big population of Arab kids, quite a few Canadians, things like that.
Did they assume, like, because your school was an American school, the one in Dubai, did they assume that, like, just because you're an American kid, that, like, your schooling system in America is different? You know what I mean? Like, did that ever come across you? Like, did you face any obstacles or barriers, like, just because you were American too? And at the end of the day, it's universal American school, right? So at the end of the day, I'm sure there must be some connection or some dot that people may have pieced up together.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like, because I left California, all my friends that I had there kept going to high school in California, which is way different, man. Even though I was in the American system here, in California, it's completely different. It's not like here, private school, uniforms, and everybody in Cali gets their license when they're 16. Like the whole high school scene is different here.
Even the drinking culture and like the
Everything,
partying,
man.
everything is different.
Yeah.
Activities, like what they do, because at the end of the day, like, you know, like even with America, believe it or not, you know, people have their own mindset. They think that, oh, the government runs like this, so all the people are like that.
Yeah.
But it's not true. You know what I mean? The government isn't made up by the people. It's not like like it's run by a specific team of selected individuals.
Yeah.
You know, like in UAE, like it's sort of similar to a dictatorship. You know, it's like a royal family, and they ensure certain safety measures in place, certain regulations, certain policies.
Yeah,
Because in my
it
school
wasn't.
in Shuaifat, bro, in Shuaifat, they have a diverse, like it's its own system. It's called the Sabbath system. So there, they offer you like the opportunity to learn and through the English route, like O levels, A levels, as well as the SAT. You know what I mean? So I'm not sure how the IB system is at the end of the day. I just know it's a specific set of courses, right? Like you can do like certificate and diploma or something like that. What's the difference? Like you get to a higher grade, like when you take higher courses, like higher English or lower English, something like that. I've heard from IB schools.
Yeah,
Is there
there's the
anything like that?
IB level classes.
Yeah.
And then, so personally, I just took the normal level classes.
Yeah.
And since I'm half Egyptian
Yeah.
and I'm Muslim,
Yeah.
I had to take Arabic class and Islamic class.
Got you.
So I was the only
It's
white kid in
mandatory,
my
yeah.
Islamic class. Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
I had to read Quran, everything, which I
Yeah.
enjoy. It was honestly my favorite class from
Absolutely.
everything.
Yeah.
But that's one of the few ones where I really just stood out.
Yeah. I mean, even like if you look around in UAE, man, like over here, like religion is integrated in many different ways. Not only Islam. We're aware of how many mosques there are around. Absolutely. So many. But at the end of the day, there are also like churches around, like towards the older Dubais or the other ends of Dubai, you know what I mean? And like temples, stuff. So like, for example, like a Christian person and a Hindu person and a Muslim person could be all living in one neighborhood. Like, you know, in communities.
Yeah.
Dubai is very community, like
Definitely.
like focused on communities. So at the end of the day, it's like that. And even in school, I'm sure it was probably a lot of different like nationalities, a lot, you know what I mean? So what about like your spare time? Like, like tell me something like activities that you do. Like, what do you enjoy doing? Like, for example, I know that you like to do dirt biking and quad biking. You know what I mean? So explain like what's that experience like? Because at the end of the day, you're a young fellow. Like, so it's quite, to think about it like you're a young individual. So to think about it, it's pretty like, okay, what's that sport like? You know, living here as a resident of UAE, as opposed to what they see like on like BMX, like on like X Sports or whatever, you know, X Games, stuff like that. So what's that experience like?
Yeah, so I started skateboarding really young. Like that's where I'll start off, like really young, right? And at the same time, I really got into like RC cars, toy cars, you know, something with an engine in it. When I moved to Dubai, I was still like 100% skater kid, you know? Yeah. I brought that with me and I held that here for a while. And then I saw the dirt bikes, you know, and that I always had some kind of interest into dirt bikes, you know, especially the desert here is crazy, you know? I don't know when I went out the first time, but I remember seeing it and I was like, I need to do that, you know?
Yeah,
I saw someone else on a bike. I was like, I want to do that.
Yeah.
So it started there. I remember I got my first bike when I was maybe 14. I made some friends that were into it too in school, you know, from mutual friends.
Yeah.
So they kind of just showed me the ropes. They taught me how to ride a bike.
Yeah.
And that's since I was 14 now, you know, up until now. And I've just been consistently loving that, the whole desert, the going off-road, you know. Because Dubai is a city, a very modern city. It has everything. It has so much culture, so much technology. But just 30 minutes outside, it's empty, bro. You're in the desert. It's a whole different world.
Pure sand.
So that's somewhere I could always, you know, escape from the reality of whatever was going on.
But you were
life.
never into like cycling when you got into like you
I was
said
into BMX for a little while.
No, I mean like a bicycle. Like, would you ever get like ride bicycles? Like maybe the bicycle would have an influence. Like for example, if you were in skateboarding and you went into snowboarding, I'd understand the relevance. But if you went from skateboarding to BMXing, like dirt biking, you know what I mean? Where's the part where you like got your first bicycle or something like that?
Yeah.
Like, was that a part of your story? Or?
Yeah, it was kind of when I was skateboarding. I also got into BMXing. Just normal BMX bikes.
Yeah.
But the dirt bikes just caught my attention. I knew nothing about it, man. I went into it blind. I was like, I want to do that, you know? I see some friends doing it. That's badass. You know, I want to get into that. I want to be a part of that. I saw videos, all that stuff.
Yeah.
X Games, you know, Supercross, motocross. Just caught my eye, bro.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, like you get like an insight of like a different, like a very diverse and like expanded world like in Dubai. You know what I mean? You find, okay, yeah, the weather may be a bit drastic, like let's face it, but at the end of the day, like you see like people doing all sorts of activities with the circumstances they have, which they can live with. Like for example, if it was a mountainous area, then you would expect people to go trekking. Like in California, like in Los Angeles, it's a mountainous area, right? So people go trekking.
Quite a few.
So here it's more like people adapt to it. Like for example, it never snows here, never. But look what they built, Ski Dubai. You know what I mean? Like that's like thinking outside. Like, all right, we don't have that, but let's make it. Let's make something like that for ourselves. You know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, man, like, I just think that like, it's not all like everyone's rolling around in a Rolls Royce and a Bentley. At the end of the day, man, there are people who work deadless hours, bro, like countless hours, and they're still like. They get, some people struggle to get by, man. Like struggle to get by in the sense where they really have to accept drastic circumstances. For example, like accommodation, or even if you look at like the weather, sometimes working in the heat, some people, you know what I mean?
Definitely.
At the end of the day, it's like it gets hard, man. But I don't know. Like I just think that it's not like we're always sitting in ACs and we're out there hustling and bustling too. You know what I mean? You're doing something, I'm sure. Like, what are you pursuing in terms of after the chapter of your high school, like moving a bit forward into the future, like what did you get into? Like, what were you like in terms of like making a living for yourself or earning some money for yourself? You know what I mean? Or were you just like I don't see you as a person, from my opinion, as a person who's just been supported by family and khalas, like I'm a spoiled kid or daddy's Jaguar. None of that. You know what I mean? It's more like, it's like, all right, you know, like being raised in a way, because your mannerisms, you know what I mean? But that's how I know, I've come to know you, you know? So tell me a bit like, in terms of like what did you do to make your bread and butter, or like any sort of hustles, or what do you, like aside from the free time, what's your focus on that and that end?
I spent quite a bit of time on car parts, man.
Car parts.
Like after the dirt bikes, it evolved to cars, you know?
Yeah.
Modifying cars, racing cars.
Absolutely, yeah. And you said earlier, because you were working with your friends, like with bikes, like as a kid, you got into it when you were 14 or something like that. So you're focusing on car parts, like trading, or like how does that work? I don't know. Explain. Like,
exactly. Trading, buying, selling. You know, if I want to get my car more tuned up, maybe I'll sell this part so I can get that part. Same thing I bought.
And you import the product from abroad?
No, man. It's already here.
There's a market where you can purchase them and then you can flip them.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah, that's sick.
I also bought one car, flipped it, you know, for a little profit.
Really?
Yeah.
Sick, man. All right, so let's talk about relationships and love, man. Let's hear the softer side rather than the education and the hustles. So what's your love life been like, if you don't mind me asking?
Man.
Like, be frank. At the end of the day, I mean, like, some people have drastic, like, oh, she cheated on me, you know, he cheated on me, whatever. Like, you know, like girls get cheated on, guys get cheated on. At the end of the day, these things happen. But whatever you're comfortable with, like, opening up about, you know what I mean? Like, feel free, man. Like, and what sort of advice would you give to people, like, maybe even back home? At the end of the day, man, like someone from California that, like, you know, from your childhood could be watching this video years down the line, and they're seeing the progress of Ryan. Like, all right, this is where Ryan's made it. Like, this is where Ryan's at. You know, this is just, maybe you don't get much time, so just share a little bit. Like, open up about that. Like,
I would underline it with a lack of commitment. A lack of commitment for me.
A lack of commitment.
Yeah,
from
I can
you.
never commit to
A person.
like a female. You know, like I'll get into like some really good situationship.
Yeah.
If you want to call it that, right?
Yeah.
Like it's great. But then the second I start catching feelings or anything, I'm like, oh man, this is too much responsibility. I haven't made it yet. I don't have a job yet. You know, I don't have, like, I'm already thinking way too far ahead.
But you're still young, bro, at the end of the day. And you're focused more, like, I think you, like, by the sight of it, bro, you're focused more on your physical health, your mental health, your emotional health. You know, you like, you're like sort of personal growth. You know, I feel what I assume is that once you're done growing, I think you have a mark. Like, all right, when I'm at this point, then I'm gonna welcome a girl
right on, bro.
into my arms. You
Exactly.
know what I mean? I don't know.
I'm not where I want to be at
wrong,
yet. I'm not where I want to be at yet.
Yeah.
To be committed to a girl.
A person, yeah.
And the thing is, I've never ended things on bad terms with anyone.
Yeah.
Like any girl I've ever
it was
been
just
with.
short and sweet and
Exactly.
class, like,
We're all still on good terms. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's awesome.
And I've seen way too
They're
many.
all, you make it sound like there's a lot.
Nah, it's not that many, bro.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like I've seen way too many of my friends get in these crazy toxic relationships.
Yeah.
Just like
Toxic.
wildfire, bro.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just sitting on the sidelines watching it. I'm like, I don't want to be. I
Yeah.
can't be involved in that drama. You know,
No
I don't
way.
have the energy for it, man.
Yeah.
It's like I don't see the point in it.
At the end of the day, it's like sometimes, you know, like I've heard this a lot. It's like there's a time for everything. There's a time and place for everything. Sometimes there's also like for a relationship, man, at the end of the day, like it's another person in your life. You know what I mean? And as it is when, you know, like when there's so many things in your life, like when there's so much going on around you, it gets hard to focus on yourself because you're getting distracted by whatever's going on around you.
Yeah.
So when you're living in such a world, and Dubai does get like that, bro. Frankly speaking, growing up here, I've grown up here too. It's like, man, it makes you get lost. You know what I mean? And get lost in the chaos or like in the speed of things and the momentum of things. And you're just like, whoa, man. And then after that, you're like, man, I have all of this going on around me. I can't focus on another human being. Like that's too simple. Or that's, you know what I mean? Maybe I need to work on myself to adapt to this. Then I can deal with someone who's adapted with that too. You know what I mean? Like, as opposed to like in terms of like relationship but yeah, man, I don't know how to say this, but like what's on your mind like right now after all these things that I've talked to you about?
Yeah, man, at this point, you know, I'm still in university. I'm almost done. Got 2 months left.
Yeah.
I started off in university in international business.
Yeah.
Just being complacent, man. Everybody in my school, business, business, right? Then I did that for 2 years here in Dubai. I was like, what am I doing? I'm not interested into this.
Yeah.
Then I switched to psychology because I always had an interest, you know, mental health. Like people, I always felt bad, you know, like mental pain is the worst pain. That's what
It's
I
a
think.
struggle.
It can be worse than physical pain because it's in your head all the time, right? So I was like, let me get into that field. That's what my mom does, by the way.
Really?
My mom's a psychologist, yeah.
Wow.
My dad's businessman, you could say.
Yeah.
So I was in the beginning,
You
let's
chose
do
the
business, then I
mother
switched to
side.
psychology.
Yeah.
And now that I'm almost done with psychology, I'm like, man, I don't know if I
Yeah.
can do this either.
It's hard.
You know
It's
what I
heavy.
mean?
It's a lot. It's a lot of control, man. It's a lot of discipline. It's a lot of like, you know, generally like taking care because, like it's hard. You know what I mean? That's what I think. But elaborate more. Like so, you want to focus like after more towards like health, like healthcare, and like not healthcare, but just generally like you want to have more of your focus on the mind rather than as opposed to focusing on a hustle through a business.
Well, that's what I thought, bro. I went from wanting to do business to wanting to do mental health care.
Yeah.
Now I'm like almost done with that. I really don't want to
But your university
make a
degrees
career out of it.
your university degrees in what exactly?
Psychology.
No
Yeah,
way.
bachelor. Yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
But at this point, I'm at the point where it's like I'm gonna graduate so I can get my degree, and let's see where I can apply it. But I'm not sure if I want to commit to psychology as a career path. So I might get into sales or something else. I'm really, honestly, pretty.
But if you've learned so much about the mind, why would you get into sales? Like, why wouldn't you just want to continue? Like, for example, like, if I never learned how to add 1 + 1, why would I focus on math? I'd focus on English. You know what I mean? Like, like if you've attained the knowledge and the wisdom and the skills and the information from whatever you've learned through your course in your university about psychology, at the end of the day, like you can have a main hustle in the psychology field. Because one piece of advice from me, I would just give you. I never got into hospitality management. That's what I graduated in. You know, and I still regret it because I got too caught up in like music and you know what I mean, like more entertainment than anything. You know what I mean? Social media, marketing, stuff like that, as opposed to focusing on what I studied. You're almost done with your psychology degree, so you could have a full-time main focus, and you could have an operating side business on the side. For example, like with the spare parts with the cars. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, the business isn't going anywhere. One thing I'll tell you, there's a lot of business. You know what I mean? But there's a few, like, there are certain niches in specific economical markets. You know what I mean? Like in Dubai's market, if you look at Dubai's market, there's only a handful probably of or maybe not even a handful, probably less, like psychiatric hospitals. I mean, not clinics or rehabilitation centers. I mean like hospitals. Like, you know what I mean? Where, like, for example, in Rashid Hospital, they have a psychiatric section, you know, a whole department. They have Al-Amal Psychiatric Hospital, and there are other therapy centers as well. You know what I mean? But where would you, just to understand better, where would you fit yourself in that niche? Because it's not like are there a lot of clinics, or I don't know, like
There's quite a few. I would
have you
say.
done, but like, have you like looked through and done any like market research to see like, all right, these are the sort of jobs to do, but I'd much or like forget the sort of roles I could fulfill there. I'd much rather focus on a hustle, or maybe I could do both, or maybe I could just do business. So I'm trying to understand, like, what's the scene like with psychology in UAE? Forget Dubai, because there's also Abu Dhabi, there's also Sharjah. You know what I mean? So what's your insight on that? Like,
Well, the biggest thing is to become a psychotherapist,
yeah,
like
or a psychiatrist.
you have to have a doctorate.
Okay.
Right now, I
okay.
only have my bachelor's,
Got you.
so that's the biggest point to
Got you.
start with. So until I have my doctorate or master's, I can't become like a therapist,
Yeah.
a psychologist, clinical psychologist.
Yeah.
So right now I'm at this point where it's like I'm not really that interested anymore. I still have a passion for it, but I don't want to make a career out of it.
Yeah.
So should I really continue to
Yeah.
a doctorate, or should I maybe take that psychology and apply it somewhere else, like business or sales? I'm honestly looking all over the place right now.
Absolutely.
You know, I have friends
man.
in real estate.
Because but do you think it's like a little demotivating that for you, like, it's like, man, I've put in all this time and effort into psychology. I'm sure it is, man.
Definitely.
And it's like, man, I'm giving up on that just to catch up with what's been going on for a while. Because psychological awareness of mental health illnesses wasn't around for too long. It was there vaguely in the past. It was taboo to talk about it. You know what I mean? But people eventually started opening up and started talking about it, because they're like, man, these issues are going on. We need to talk about it. Like, in their heads, you know what I mean? Inside themselves. So at the end of the day, like, what sort of, like, how, I don't know, I'm trying to think of something you could collaborate, like psychology with a business, you know, like a sort of like clinic, or, but it would not, like, how could you, I don't know, could you integrate the two somehow? Like, I don't know, like a business, but I don't know, how would you do that?
Maybe something for the youth, you know?
Yeah.
For younger kids.
But what about care homes? Like, you know, like retirement homes. I'm sure, like, for the local population, you know, most of the retirees, like, when they retire and they're old and they're dependent, you know, they're usually situated in houses.
Yeah.
They're usually living in houses. So maybe you could provide a service that works like in the houses. You know what I mean? Like, you know how, for example, they have like nanny services, like or maid services to clean your house. Maybe you could have a nurse's services that could cater to those people that are unwell, because psychological tendencies start to deteriorate when you get older as well. People can't hear, people can't see as clearly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, I'm sure you have this knowledge too, but you could like apply some sort of, you could cater to the department of psychology by operating a business. You know what I mean? That's where you get the best of both worlds, man. You don't need to worry about like, okay, because think about it this way. If you give up one and you do the other, while you're doing other, maybe an obstacle or a failure along the way of many successes, I hope, may deteriorate you and go like, man, I should have done that. You know, why did I do here? I should have done that. Then maybe you leave that or maybe if you do the other, then you'll be like, yeah, I should have done the other. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, it's like, you got to think about these things carefully and take it as a word from a brother, from a man, from just like at the end of the day, a friend of yours. You know what I mean? That make sure you have a plan, not a plan, but make sure you have like some sort of a trajectory of direction. You know what I mean? Plan maybe seem too far-fetched. You know what I mean? Then it's like, oh, plan means, okay, indicates that, like, blah, blah, blah. Keep it simple. You know what I mean? Like, focus on, man, like, all right, at the end of the day, I've studied this, I'm almost done. Just don't, like, give up on yourself or your dream or whatever you hope for. Man, maybe you could have, like, a nursing thing like that, and then you could have a business with BMX and dirt bikes. You know what I mean? That could become a business, too. And at the end of the day, man, like, I'm sure maybe you, like, or maybe you could, okay, forget psychology. Maybe I'm not sure, but maybe you could have events. Like you could work with events in BMXing because you're passionate about that, right? Right?
Yeah, motocross.
Exactly, motocross, BMX. Sorry, I don't know the right terminology. Motocross. So you could, if you could have events such as X Games, and over there also you could take care of the nursing things with regards to anything providing, because some accidents lead to mental trauma. That's the truth, right? Like if you get into a drastic accident, you're gonna have a mental trauma, like haunting. You'll have fear. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So you could cater to that as well. You know, what do you think? I don't know, man. Like, speak to me, bro. Like, what do you think?
I think that's pretty fair point to make, especially when people get into accidents. The fear leaves afterwards. Maybe people don't want to get back on the bike.
So how are they gonna recover from that? Like mentally?
It's happened to me many times. You know, I have a long list of injuries from dirt biking.
Do you think your degree in psychology has helped you cure yourself? Like psychology?
No, man, that's one of the big mistakes that I would say I made going into it.
Really?
I thought I would solve all my problems, but it only made me more aware of them. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it didn't solve them. It just made them maybe worse. I don't know, bro. But yeah, I honestly, I'm not regretful of going into that major.
You just want to put it on hold because you'd rather focus on something else. Because it's giving you like an overload at one go.
Exactly, man. In hindsight, I don't know if it was the right choice to make. At the moment, I'm still just looking all over the place. What do I want to do? Do I want to open a business? Do I want to work for myself? Do I want to work for other people? What are my friends doing? You know, I have some friends who are successful in their certain fields.
But success is subjective, man. Like for you, maybe success could. The thing is, man, money is not the goal. It's money is a means to an end.
Yeah,
it's something that the money will get you. For example, I'm saying, you know, so if success, the first thing that comes to my mind when I hear successful, I just think people with money. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, it's not just money, man. It's people that have done something. They've put in, they've grinded, they've worked, they've hustled. You know what I mean?
Yeah, happiness.
But like, yeah, I don't know. Like I just think that like it's good to, bro, because you have the awareness more than I do at the end of the day with your psychological understanding. You know what I mean? You know how the brain and mind works a lot better than an individual because you've put in time and effort and devoted like learning about it. You know what I mean? So like, yeah, at the end of the day, like, but who's like your your most influential? Are there people from high school? Are there people from your university? Your family? I don't know.
Man, most influential.
Like someone who encourages you or motivates you or someone you want to follow, sort of. Not be like, because that would be a standpoint, right? Like if you want to be like them, then you get there. Once you get there, you stop. But someone you want to follow until you can lead on your own, right?
Damn, bro. Honestly, at this point, I wouldn't say I have anybody. It's more so I've been more in like my own lane, you know, in maybe the last like 2 years. Cause when I was younger, I was a bit reckless, bro. Just doing dumb shit, you know, getting in trouble a lot. Maybe I was the bad influence, you know what I mean? And to be honest,
you learn, man. It's
growing up in Dubai, everybody splits after they graduate. Everybody goes home, right? So after I graduated, I went back to Cali for 2 years of college there. So I have some good friends there. I have some pretty good friends here. But honestly, I've just been kind of doing everything on my own. Like just staying in my lane, taking influence, you know, maybe from certain social figures or people like that. Just kind of trying to find my own way. And you honestly just gave me an idea, which is to tie like maybe physical fitness into the psychology. So I got into physical fitness.
Bro, you're the expert, not me.
Yeah, so I was just thinking, man, like, you know, that if you can, let's try to work on your mind and your body together.
Absolutely,
you know, kill two birds with one stone.
Absolutely. Like at the end of the day, man, like certain things like are physical that could lead to something mental, or some certain things that are mental that could lead to physical. Like for example, let's say you're mentally depressed. You could gain a lot of weight, man. You could get anxious. You could overeat. You could sleep a lot. You could lose sight of control.
Yeah.
Or let's just say you're gluttonous. You know, you like to eat a lot. Yeah. Then you could also end up with depression. You know, because you've eaten so much. You'll be like, man, now I'm depressed. I ate so much. So at the end of the day, man, you gotta find the gap. I mean, you're an industry expert, bro. You're getting a certified degree. At the end of the day, it's on you. You know what I mean? Like, I just think that there's many opportunities, man. And Dubai, bro, trust me. One thing I've learned, I mean, if you have, if you want to find a way to make a hustle or do something, you know what I mean? You can absolutely do it.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean?
Networking here.
Bro, but the thing is, those will be guidance, you know? And okay, yeah, you can construct something together. Because at the end of the day, I'll tell you one piece of advice that I learned from at a very young age. If I think about making money only for myself, first of all, I'll never be content and the money will never be enough. Second of all, I'll burn out. You know, I'll be like, man, I want 100 million alone. Like a single army carrying 100 million guns, a single man army carrying 100 million guns. It's not possible, bro. We have two hands. It takes two to clap. You know what I mean? I can't make a song just, I mean, you can't. My point is, it takes two to clap. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, think like in terms of alliance. You know, think in terms of like, this is just me sharing some like insight to some more from my experience, because our age gap is quite significant. You know what I mean? I have like a few years over you, but it's all right. At the end of the day, man, like you have like, you can bridge that gap as long as you focus on what's more like, all right, let's do this together. Let's build a circle. Like, let's have a sofa rather than a leaning chair. You know what I mean? Like, or a tanning bed. Like, fuck that, man. You wanna have like a whole couch. You know what I mean? So think, and together always. And one thing you'll notice, bro, it's very common in Dubai within South Indians. The Keralites, like, you know Lulu Hypermarket? Mm-hmm. The owner of that, he's South Indian. I think he was one of the first people to get the golden visa in Dubai. One of the first. Bro, and he's a Keralite. And bro, these people are very community orientated. And that's true. Like, that's not an opinion, bro. You can go to their cities and nations like Kerala and Bangalore in India, and you will learn that about them. Because I've had a few of those friends in university, and I've noticed how community orientated they are. You know what I mean? Like, if, for example, at that time when they want to go out for a drink, they'll be inviting so many people. Mm-hmm. You know, it's not like they're sitting there drinking alone. You know what I mean? So you always think together, bro. That's all I'm saying. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Just don't try to focus on like, yo, I want to get this. It's like, yo, I want to get this, but I want him to get this too, or I want her to get this too. You know what I mean? Like, look into it, man. Yeah,
it's also just tricky finding good friends here, man. You know, I mean, a lot of betrayal, backstabbing, fucking talking shit, all that stuff, man. That's why I'm kind of also just in my own lane, working on myself, doing it in silence. There's like a few people that I'll stay connected with, but when I was younger, I had some like best friends betray me, bro. Straight up, you know what I mean? Just go right behind my back. Yeah. So I'm glad I learned that lesson young.
Absolutely.
Better then than now, you know what I mean? Because I got more to lose now.
Man, that's one thing. I'll tell you one thing, man. Like, people, you know, like, forget people on the outside, the people who think of what Dubai is like. You know what Dubai, like, over here, a lot, like, growing up here as two people who've grown up here, man, a lot of people will cut throat. You know what I mean? The forget going behind your back, bro. They were already going behind your back. They just had the courage to finally tell you. And imagine, I'm thinking about, you had the courage to do this, and it's like, he's telling me I had the courage to do this now. I'm like, whoa, bro, you ran me like that? Like, that's really, bro, people, like, I have less than 5 friends, bro, till date.
Same, man.
Less than 5 friends. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I think the people who are like, I'm very close to, people that I believe in regardless of whatever anybody in the world tells me about them. You know, because, bro, they could be trying to go behind their back and cut me off with them so we could, like, form a clique and leave that person behind. You know what I mean? And, bro, like, it's very common, man. Like, many people, like, they leave, man. They widespread, they dip out, they relocate. Khalas, bro. Like, and it hurts, man. It hurts deep. But you're gifted, bro, with the knowledge of psychology, man. You'd be crying right now if you weren't with the knowledge. No, read it, bro. Like, man, it's like, it's sad, bro. You know what I mean? Relationships, forget. I mean, I'm glad you're refraining from relationships because of lessons learned from friendships. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's fucking rare, man. Like, some people will go like, no, it was just a one-time thing, because they're trying to fit in and get deluded by what they're being led on with. Yeah, man. You know what I mean? It's easy, man. Especially with money, very easy. Don't let, bro, let me tell you one thing, bro. Money can be printed from a bank. This cup can be bought online at a store, from a retailer, from a reseller. But you, Ryan, I can't get anywhere. I can go to every mannequin in the world, mannequin factory in the world, be like, make me a Ryan, and they won't be able to make me a Ryan. Yeah, man. AI, this and all that. But no way. You know what I mean?
Just have to find your worth.
With everyone. You have to know that that's not only self, but that's with everyone, bro. Even with her, with you, with me. Bro, at the end of the day, like, everyone here on earth, like, bro, there's no two of two. There's everyone is a one of one. Our features may be split up into twos, but as an individual, we are one of one. You know what I mean? I'm a one of one, you're a one of one. So it's rare, man.
Yeah, bro.
But I hope, like, I genuinely hope, man, like, you get to, like, figure out the psychology and, like, BMX thing out and, like, really also settle down. But after you've learned to sort of give a chance to someone and maybe give them an opportunity to trust, you know, because it's very easy to get caught up in the betrayal and, like, you know, like, you know, it's easy, man. Like, it's just you're caving in, you know what I mean? It's hard for, like, people will celebrate with you at your lows, at your highs, but as soon as you get to one low, they dip.
Yeah, man.
Bro, it's like, listen to this example. Imagine, like, they'll all be riding with you in a four-seater car. 5 people will be riding with you in a 4-seater car. As soon as one tire busts, bro, you're the only one left there fixing the tire. All remaining 5 people have dipped. Yeah. They ran off, bro. They're taking a taxi home. They walked to the nearest restaurant to go eat. They don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? That's the reality of life, man. And that's just, forget global climate change, man. This is also pollution. You know what I mean? But what sort of advice would you give me, like, or like anyone watching or listening? At the end of the day, like, what sort of advice would you give from your experience to what you've been through from this betrayal and heartbreak? Like, I don't know, spit some wisdom.
Be careful what friends you make. You know, I always second guess people. Are you really my friend? Because I've had friends who will hang out with me, but then they'll still go hang out with someone that I know I'm beefing with, or I know I don't fuck with that person. It's like, if I don't fuck with this person as a friend, you don't fuck with them. It's not rocket science.
Yeah.
If you're a real friend. But the thing with, well, at least my experience in Dubai is that a lot of people will still be like halfway friends with this dude, halfway friends with that dude, even though they don't like each other. Then when he's with him, he's talking shit about him. When he's with this guy, he's talking shit about that guy.
Yeah.
I hate this halfway friendship. Either you're my brother or we're not friends, you know what I mean? I don't even like the label.
You don't play.
I don't even like the label friends, bro. I got brothers.
Yeah.
You know, people that have the loyalty, they will die for me. Straight up. I don't really believe in these, like, half-ass friendships, you know, like, and shit like that. I think that you should be with people who are good influences, you know what I mean? It's said that you're a summary of the 5 closest people to you. So True. It's like you got to look around and really see, like, are they doing good? Are they being a good influence on me? Because I've been on both sides. I've been around some really, like, shitty people that made me do things that in hindsight I regret. And then I've been around other people who try to lift me up, you know, and they'll even when I'm down bad, they'll still come get me. Even if I'm fucking up, they'll call me out on it, you know what I mean? A lot of people don't do that here. They'll see one of their friends doing some horrible thing and they won't even call him out on it. They'll just let him crash and burn, and then they're like, talk shit about him maybe once he's out of that friend group or whatever. So I would say really look for that loyalty and the connection with people, and especially when you get it younger, and if you can hold those brothers for a prolonged period of time, then they'll always be there for you, you know?
Absolutely, man. At the end of the day, like, I feel like, man, like, I'd rather stand side by side with someone than stand face to face.
Exactly.
Because I know if it's face to face, I'm the only one going to be walking over. No, not, that's a little exaggerated, but my temper and anger would take me to that degree. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's like, because I've been through that too many. I've stood by too many people, and when, like, I just turned my back, they were standing bare in front of me. You know, it's like, yo, you're double crossing, like.
Are they there for your best interest?
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean?
Do they want you to come up? Do they want you to come up?
No, they just want to, bro, they want to catch up. That's the thing. Yeah. I don't want to catch up. I want to lead, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I think, like, lead. I follow until I can lead.
And jealousy, bro.
Yeah.
Jealousy is a big one. Bro, when people start seeing success in you, or you're getting something that you've worked really hard for, see how they react.
Yeah.
See how they react. It will say everything, bro.
Could they leave you or they'll try to take it away from you?
I've had friends who will, like, just give me some, like, weird reactions. Like, what the fuck? You're supposed to be gassing me up on it. Like, you know, I have some real true friends who will instantly hype me up if I succeed at something. Yeah. That's a real friend. Someone who kind of, like, doesn't really give you that, like, crazy response.
Why are you doing this, man? Trying to distract you from
Yeah, it's like, this guy knows how hard I worked. So he's really going to be like, good job, bro. Like, I'm real proud of you.
Yeah.
Shit like that. It really shows who people are, man, when you start to succeed at anything.
Anything.
And whether it be work, school, fitness, anything. And then when you're down bad, see who's there too.
I laugh because it's so true, bro. You know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, it's like people just, I don't know, man.
Some people thrive off of it when
yeah, but the thing is, bro, like even when, like, bro, let's face it, we're talking about people right now, right? Metaphoric, like in terms of examples. But we're talking, bro, we're not taking names. We're not going to people. We're in fact sharing a similar experience. I'm giving you an example, bro. These people did this.
Yeah.
I'm not saying, bro, this guy did this guy did this. I'm saying, bro, because so, like, imagine this is how many friends I had. These 3 people did exactly what we're talking about. Now I'm saying, bro, people just do that. I'm generalizing based on the majority. And that's exactly what you're doing as well. Because it hurts, bro. And the pain is so severe, not necessarily like it's just emotionally and mentally. You know what I mean? But you have to be trained, you have to be aware, like, man, this world is cutthroat. It's dog eat dog world. You know what I mean? Like, bro, even like Heath Ledger says, you see these people, they'll eat each other when the chips are down. Like in Dark Knight, you know, that's my favorite movie in the world.
Right,
I just listened to Heath Ledger's script the whole time. At the end of the day, it's like it's so raw and real and true. You know what I mean? I don't like to say the word real, bro, because it's oversaturated. Like everyone uses I'm real, oh you're real, are you real? I like the word raw and I like the word true. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, it's just like, I don't know, man. Like I genuinely hope like we come across some better people, man, in life. Like,
yeah, bro, that's
you know
the goal,
I mean?
right?
That's absolutely, man. No, not come across some better people in life. You know what I mean? Some people that are more like-minded, because it's hard, man. We're not many, bro. I'll tell you that. We're a few in terms of how we are, but we're very common as being the victims.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean? It's very common, man. Heartbreak here. Stab by, like, bro, people betrayed, like, khalas, you know what I mean? They just, it's cutthroat.
Yeah, man.
But anyways, man, let's talk about something lighter, man. Like, what do you feel like talking about, man? What's on your mind?
Man, I'm just happy it's winter time.
Yeah, weather's getting better.
Man.
Weather's getting lovely. It's like, khalas, now bro, you don't need to put the car AC on. You don't need to, I mean, me and where I live at home, no AC in the room. Just
nice,
like,
yeah.
It's a different feeling,
Time
man.
to go outside, bro. Go outside.
For you in the desert with the dirt,
Yeah,
I
man.
can't even
that
imagine.
gets put on pause
There,
for
it's
like
even
7
colder.
months. Yeah.
Yeah.
That gets put on pause for like half the year.
Yeah.
It's too hot.
But you know, now the good news is that like winter started in November, so a bit late. Usually it used to start a bit earlier.
Yeah, man.
So now it started late, so it's gonna stay till late.
Hopefully.
And usually winter ends in Feb. Now it'll probably end in March.
March, yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's good, man. At the end of the day, and it's a time, man. Like, are you gonna go to Seoul DXP?
Seoul
DXP.
I might.
There are talks, there are concerts, there's so many
music.
events, man. Because
Probably go to that.
That's also winter. Like only in December it happens.
And
once a year.
Liwa Festival, Abu Dhabi.
Liwa Festival? What's that? Abu Dhabi?
Yeah.
What's that?
It's basically the biggest dune in the Middle East. Send,
Really?
You know? Yeah, it's like this steep, right?
Like Badayr?
Way bigger, bro. Like double.
Bigger than Badayr?
Yeah, and people race up it. There's like a whole...
Really? It's called Liwa?
Liwa.
Shit.
It's next to the border of Saudi Arabia. It's quite far.
Really?
Yeah, maybe 6-hour drive, 5-hour drive.
Wow.
Yeah, so there's a festival there. We'll go to that.
Yeah.
Ride our dirt bikes there. Cars. There's
How many,
people
like,
racing.
when you go dirt biking, like, how many people are there?
I would say the minimum we go with is 2.
And you go like, yo, this is
Yeah,
where I'm
bro.
at.
If you
So
crash,
what
you can
about-
be like, "Oh, get me."
But location, how would you find yourself? It's just sand. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, you ride like within like
sound.
a couple meters. No, you're behind your friend.
Wow.
We go as a group, 2, 3, 4 people,
Yeah.
and these are people I've known a long time too. So we know how we ride. We know like
But I'm sure you've learned, man, like through your experience, I'm sure you've learned
yeah.
like to ride a specific way, not to go.
Oh,
if the
yeah,
sand's
bro.
too like that, then you ride slow or fast. I don't know.
Man, I've crashed so many times.
I'm sure. But small accidents or big accidents?
Both.
Really?
Yeah.
Like bike busted.
No, I wouldn't say bike busted, but I've been
Khalas.
busted, bro.
Yeah.
Both my knees. I had to get
Shit.
surgery.
Yeah.
Left collarbone, right shin, left shin.
You had to get surgeries for all of them?
No, both my knees I had to get surgeries.
Really?
Yeah,
So you like,
for the ligaments.
yeah. Knees, man, I can't imagine the pain
Yeah,
on
still hurts a bit.
that. I'm sure, like, even, don't mind me asking, but during the incident, it was just staying, the hurt was pain. Like for example, when the accident happened and your knees were injured, did you, like, what was the situation? Like,
My
the ambulance
knees
come?
actually got injured over time.
Oh, okay,
Yeah, it wasn't
okay,
a sudden
okay.
accident.
I thought it was one accident that injured
no.
both your knees.
I broke my collarbone like that.
Yeah.
That was a nightmare, man.
Was it her staying? Like, that must have.
Yeah, so I was trying to race someone up a dune in a buggy, and then
Yeah.
they cut me off. Then I gave the front brake. I went over the handlebars, like broke my collarbone.
Yeah.
But then the worst part was it took me like 8 hours to get to a hospital.
8 hours.
Yeah, I was in the
Did you
middle of
pass
the
out?
desert. No,
Did you faint?
man.
No.
I wish I did.
Yeah, with the
I
pain,
didn't,
man.
bro. That hurt it so bad. I was just
Yeah.
sitting like this, waiting
The whole time.
for my friend to come to pick me up. Then there was traffic.
Yeah.
Go all the way back to Dubai. This happened in Sharjah.
Yeah.
Came all the way back to Dubai to go to American hospital.
Oof.
Yeah, it was
American.
bad.
Very patriotic, I was
Yeah,
saying.
man.
U.S., American school, American
Also split open the back of my head pretty bad.
Really?
Even, I was wearing a helmet, and I fell on a rock, and it still went
Damn.
like through it into my head.
Many injuries, man.
Real painful, yeah.
Many injuries. Damn, bro. That's insane.
It's a really adventurous sport, though.
It is, man. It's a thrill.
Man, it's the only time my head goes quiet.
Yeah.
You can't. You don't even have time to think when you're on a bike.
Sometimes, bro, like the thing is, you're so caught up like in the sport itself,
Yeah.
you forget repercussions. You know what I mean? That like, oh, what if I turn wrong? Like, let me just try it. You know what I mean? Like
You
try
don't have time to
stunt.
think about what's going on at home.
Absolutely, because you're not gonna think about like you're so focused in the moment at that point when you're caught like mid-action, mid-air or something, where you're focused on the stunt, as opposed to like getting like thinking about like, oh, what if I injure myself and I break this and I'm gonna have to. You're just like, man, if that happens, I'll bear with it. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. That's very true.
absolutely, man.
Just wear our safety gear.
Yeah,
Hope for the best.
that's what you got to work on, man.
Don't be stupid.
Yeah.
Don't be
What
reckless.
safety gear do you wear when you dirt bike?
Helmet, neck brace,
Yeah.
and then
Elbows and knees?
No, just boots, like shoes.
That's it.
Yeah.
So these are like open like that.
Yeah. Some
Shit.
people wear it.
Yeah. You could, but they make it stiff with your
Exactly.
maneuvering,
Yeah.
right?
You don't get the freedom.
Yeah.
The neck is
What about
important.
jet skiing? Do you do jet skiing?
Yeah, I've jet ski before.
Really?
No,
Have
not,
you seen these the jet skis that go like underwater and they come out? What's that like? Have you
I
ever
haven't
done
done that. I've just done normal jet
No,
skiing.
jet ski. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, jet skiing also can be a very dangerous sport.
Hell
man.
yeah, man. I've seen.
When you're going really at a high speed, when you're going fast, the water it becomes like a layer of glass or something.
Yeah, you skip.
You're, and if you fall, you will like you could get a cut.
Yeah, I don't like it, man. I
Yeah,
prefer
but-
the desert.
Yeah,
I prefer land.
yeah, land is better. At the end of the day, it's like I like snowboarding. You know, I've never
Yeah, I was
done
into
snowboarding.
too.
You've done snowboarding?
Yeah, I learned here.
I've never done it, man. How is it?
It's crazy because I learned in Dubai in a mall on a
Yeah.
fake
True.
ski slope, right? Then I went to Austria and I went on a real slope, and it was
Yeah.
like I knew it, bro. I already practiced so many years in Dubai that by the time I got to a real mountain, the skill just like transferred over.
Yeah.
So it's really weird. I learned in
Out there,
Dubai
yeah.
how to snowboard.
I mean, sports, man, it's a wide game, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's so like if you think about it, like because that's a sport also. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's a skill, man. I'll
It
tell you
is.
that. It's a skill of talent, you know, and it's a skill of skill actually. Like it's not just a trait. Like you need to be good at it to keep doing it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Otherwise, it just gets, khalas, you'll give up on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's like the dirt bikes where you have to have like
Yeah.
the skill to it, and there's a style to it. Everybody
Yeah.
rides a bit different.
True.
It's so like the variables. There's so many variables, man.
Yeah.
How you ride, which way,
Yeah.
a million different ways.
I mean, there's a lot, bro. That's for sure. But anyways, we gotta wrap it up pretty soon. Anything you wanna say before we check out?
I mean, Dubai isn't what people make it out to be. unless you're
This is
talking
true.
to someone who's lived here for quite a bit of time. Man, don't listen to Instagram,
Yeah.
Snapchat, TikTok, the gold vape. I don't know, solid
True.
gold iPhone. It's not like that.
It's none of that.
There's culture here, multicultural. You know,
Yeah.
from everywhere.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Thank you so much, man, for being my
Yeah.
guest, bro. I appreciate it, though. For sure. Thank you so much for watching. This was my guest, Ryan. And I hope you enjoyed our podcast series for today. Just two normal individuals. What generation are you? Do you know Generation Y?
I think Z, bro,
Z?
99.
A Generation Z
Yeah.
and a millennial just had a deep conversation, and we could have gone on for a lot longer. But we had to wrap it up. Thank you all for watching. You want to bid farewell?
Yep. Thanks for listening, guys.